Time zone appropriate greeting to you and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got the privilege to interview one part of the super mega ultimate hobby positive Megazord that forms part of SM Battle Reports. Loyal Imperial Guard commander and holder of a beautiful Ultramarines army, and a person who since 1999 still claims it wasn't him, Shaggy from SM Battle Reports.
Hello.
Hey mate, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, you know.
Good, good. I like the intro. Fantastic.
Thanks. Oh, giggling aside, welcome to the Community Spotlight.
Hello.
This Community Spotlight, we've got two sections, A and B, 1 and 2, whichever you want to call it. There's first is a standard set of questions, and then part B is non-standard questions which I've tailored towards your good self. Are you ready?
Ready. Quick fire. Let's go.
Dun dun dun. Dramatic music time. How did you get into the hobby of tabletop wargaming?
I think it was many, many moons ago because I'm very, very old now. I was in school and a friend of mine decided to start collecting this game, 40K. And as you do, you just follow along with what everyone else is doing. And the funny thing is that it was actually the Ultramarines that I started collecting. Again, it was because my friend was collecting them, but I found them really cool because they were these guys with bolters, and I had just watched Starship Troopers, so I just wanted to do Starship Troopers. That's all I wanted to do. So I ended up getting into the hobby that way. They're fantastic, cool looking models, and how could you not get from Ultramarines?
What type of hobbyist are you? A painter, collector, gamer, or a bit of a mix?
I can wholeheartedly say I am a gamer. I do not like painting. I tried it. So for everyone there who says, "Oh, you got to try," I did try it. I spent, I think, 500 quid on an airbrush, a beautiful brush set from Siege Studios that they had just released. I had brushes from GW, got tons of paint, got the paint set, got the box, all of it. I even got probably one of the easier armies to start off with. I got some Necrons.
Yeah, that
and
is
I just
easy.
couldn't get that. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I just did not like spending the time painting. It was so arduous to do it. And I was like, you know what, I can't. So this was already at the time when I had Siege Studios doing my guard and everything. So I was like, well, I know they're doing that, but I just can't. I can't paint. So I'll leave it to the professionals. I'd rather pay for it and leave my time, my hobby time, to play games, and I'm happy with that. I will always hold my hands up and say, fantastic for those who do paint, who like to paint. I just don't. I can't. I just don't like it.
What game systems do you play? Are you simply a one-person game system man, or do you play different systems?
I play 40K, and I've been playing it for ages. The narrative side of things is cool. Like to get more into it, but I'm more along the lines of competitive to narrative of the way that we do things, where we try to keep things single codec, and have everything together for the army. I would like to play other games. Kill Team is an interest. Even now that fantasy is on the way back, I would love to get into it. It's just a lot of time needs to be given to 40K because there's only so much hobbying you can do. with everything that goes on in your life. So I'd love to get into a few other things. Age of Sigma is fantastic, but it's just the time. Got to spend it on 40k. If not, I get bad enough comments as they are from YouTube. So, you've got to keep cracking away at 40k.
What advice would you pass on to someone just getting into the hobby, or maybe with a bit of a time machine magic, your younger self?
So, anyone who asks me, what I play or what is this game, I try to tailor it to very quickly. What do you like? Do you like some Marines? Do you like a bit more fantasy style? So you've got your Eladari, you've got your Necrons. Do you like creatures? You got your Nids. So I try to focus it more on what does that person like, and then I go into, okay, if you like those things, then why don't we play a little game and I'll show you the rules. And I was explaining to a friend of mine yesterday, and he liked that. You people generally, if they asking about it, they have an interest for it. So the best advice I can give is just go for something you like, the style, the look, and then you learn the intricacies of it, intricacies of the game, and how it goes. But just go for the style you like, even if it might not be what people recommend right now. There's a lot of units in an Ultramarine or Guard army that people would think, what are you doing with that? But it's because you like it. It looks cool. Why wouldn't you? The rule of cool is always the way to go.
Yep. Have you ever had an extended period out of the hobby?
Yes. So when I was, I think, 16, I stopped completely. I was actually the one that got my brother into it, but I stopped for a while with work and girlfriend and everything. So I think everyone goes a bit through that phase. And I took out, I think, maybe four, no, more, six, 6 to 8 years, I think it was.
So what pulled you back in?
Pardo. So what happened was that Pardo had organized a game for the local club, a giant apocalypse game, and he asked if I could help out because we've been friends for a long time. He asked if I could help out, just taking some pictures, some videos, just to be there during the day and help out. And it was he had to play on the chaos side using his god because there were no chaos god players at the time, so renegades. Um, so I decided, you know what, this is cool. I want to get back into it. I'm gonna get renegades. So why don't I stop getting some gods, painting them red, and I actually got my brother to paint them for me, and he would paint them up in red and all renegade and some chaos icons and stuff, and that's how I started getting into it. But that's literally what brought me back to the hobby.
What's the best part about the hobby for you?
The community, even though there are sometimes when you get comments on YouTube, but the community face to face is fantastic. You get such lovely comments, even online, of people you don't really know, who you get to know really well, and it's just amazing. It's humbling, but it's just a lot of fun. You get to meet a lot of people that you normally wouldn't talk to. I'm very much an introvert. I really don't get out much and I don't talk to many people. But this forces you to talk to people because even though you can go up to a table and just sit there and just roll your dice, it makes it a lot more interesting, a lot more fun talking to that person and getting to know that person, even if it's just for a couple of hours while you play. It's a fun experience. So I think playing games with other people, just getting to know other people, that's the best thing about this hobby.
And on the flip side, What's the worst part about the hobby for you?
All the rules. I would say that there's a lot of rules. I mean, 8th edition, let's be honest, is fantastic. They have really reduced the amount of ambiguity. They've helped out with FAQs, but there's still a lot to remember. There's finer points that you need to remember, which is quite irritating sometimes. But at large, it's great. It's just those little times that it's like I could have remembered that or forgot this. Those are the hard times, but it's all in all, it's great. But yeah,
So what keeps you in the hobby?
part of it. No, just the how fun it is. I'll be honest, it's just a lot of fun. We get to play with toys and have fun with our friends, either doing videos, going to tournaments, making tournaments, running them, having these conversations. I could talk about Warhammer a lot, like hours on end. I really could. It's fantastic. It's a fun hobby. That's what keeps me going in it. If it wasn't fun, I would have stopped a long time ago.
How would you deal with a lack of hobby mojo or a burnout period?
Phew, I'll be honest. I think the best way when you do feel burnt out is either try and change the army you play. So I've got Guard and I've got Ultramarines. They're two quite different armies. Luckily, with SN in the studio, I can swap out to mostly any other army I choose. And I've got the option where I use a lot of times the Thousand Suns or the Death Guard. And again, varying styles. So I think that's what helps me out a lot. If not, it's just a case where you just need to take a week or two and think about other things or other interests you might have, and then come back to it when you feel like you want to. So anyone that would feel burnt out with it, just take a step back and move from there.
Has anyone inspired your hobby style or life?
Uh, my brother, he's helped me a lot with how I collect or play the game. Part of it, my friends, so the whole team really, we were quite close as it is. So even though we annoy each other at times, we're quite close. So I think we inspire each other to either get models or get collecting a different army. I mean, the Ultramarines have always been there. It's just one of those things that I had left for a long time. So when the option came of, okay, I've got the Guard at a good point, what do I do next? Contact with Benji to restart the Ultramarines up, and I'm glad I did because they're they're amazing. They're a lot of fun, and they're just cool.
Yeah, I'll post some. I'll post a link above now in the card section. Now you'll see a link for Benji for Standfast Studios. This is the
Yeah.
Ultramarine army we're talking about. It's beautiful work.
Oh, he just keeps getting better. It's just me,
Yeah. I hate him so much.
don't we all?
What projects are you working on at the moment?
So with everything that's been happening around the world, we've been at a standstill for a month, and we've been lucky enough that in Gibraltar the lockdown has eased up a little bit. It's enough to allow us to, even though we take a lot of precautions, we can actually carry on now recording. So the main thing right now is to just get back into the studio, start doing some reports, and try to entertain people during this downtime because people are struggling. We've struggled, and if anyone sees my next game, please forgive me. I've probably forgotten a lot of rules.
Do you plan out projects, armies, or do you get sucked in the trap of collecting everything?
when it comes to God and Space Marines, I get wrapped into I want everything. And that's probably a bad thing because those are two big armies that have a lot of units. So I've spoken to Siege Studios about the next phase of the God. So hopefully that'll be coming soon. And again, with the Ultramarines, I just want everything. And what isn't cool in a Space Marine army? I mean, even the classic Marines are cool. So it's a lot of investment, unfortunately, but it's worth it. It's a lot of cool stuff.
If your budget was unlimited, but you could only buy one army, what would it be?
Don't do this to me. Unlimited budget.
Unlimited budget, but only one army.
Ooh. It would have to be God, definitely.
Which
Just
God, though?
rows and rows. Acadians.
Acadians,
Is
yeah.
there any other thing? Acadians, all the way. The planet broke before the God did. Come on. So I would definitely be getting rows and rows of tanks and men and everything.
What do you hope to improve with regard to your hobby in the future?
My knowledge of the rules. Um, there are so many little intricacies that you can do that would make any army better. Um, it's just the knowledge of the rules and knowledge of your own and your opponent's rules. It's just there's a lot to read. I mean, there's so many codexes, indexes, FAQs, the new Psychic Awakening books. That's just a lot. So I would love to just be able to sit down and read all that and memorize it because my memory is horrible.
That's perfect, mate. That's the end of part one. We jump back in to part two. 2 feet first. How did you get involved with SN Battle Reports?
So it was actually through Stephen and Nick. So it's named after them. They were working together, and Nick is my brother. So, and Stephen is my best friend. So, realistically, how could I not end up being part of it? So, eventually, when the spot came that they wanted to increase the team, I applied, and they said, "Yeah, of course." And here we are.
How do you find travelling internationally for events due to Gibraltar's small gaming circle? Do you prefer it?
It's exciting. It's a lot of fun. We always enjoy going to Warhammer World. We went earlier this year. We miss it. We want to go back again when we can, but it's always really exciting. We always have fun traveling together, staying in the same house. The experiences we get day to day, hour by hour, meeting new people, the exciting games we have, how close they are. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I recommend anyone to travel internationally to an event, not just, to your local or to, might be a few miles down the road or whatever. Travel internationally, go somewhere, go to Germany or Sweden, something, anywhere. It's a lot of fun. You'll enjoy it. Go with your friends and you make a weekend out of it. Always travel with some good cases, please.
You've got such a large range of armies in the studio at SM Battle Reports to choose from. Have any inspired you to maybe start thinking about starting a third army?
I've thought about it, and I've been keen on Death Watch for a while. The ammunition, all that stuff interests me. It's one of those things that I'd like to get into, but they're very similar anyway to the Ultramarines. So either I can go something a bit more varied and go for something out of the blue, or I carry on with what I've got. It is something that would interest me, hopefully down the line, to get Death Watch or even Space Wolves would be cool to get. But There's just so many. So I can't say no to starting a third army.
You've had some classic battle reports now on the video channel against DC and his Chaos Forces. Do you enjoy dropping the Relic of Luxcadia on him?
Oh no, never, no. How can you not? It's awesome, especially against chaos. It's a lot of fun. DC always takes it with good humor. So does Chris when I do it to him. It is a case where it is overpowered against chaos. It is what it is. Um, I only wish they could make it that way for everyone, and I could do it for everyone. But specifically for chaos, it hurts for them. It's fun for me.
If you could design a guard tank, what would it be armed with?
Ooh. With all honesty, I think it would just be a battle cannon and a Punisher put into one, and both firing twice each turn. So I think that would be literally my dream thing. Oh, and an invo. Make sure it has an invo. Put a shield in there because it needs an invo. Right now, I'm getting creamed so badly because I don't have an invo. Like just a 5-up. I'll be happy with a 5-up invo. Just give me that.
SM Battle Reports is really well known for the No Retreat series, and recently where me and you first met, the Gibraltar GT. When you run these events with large numbers of people, do you miss playing in them?
Yes, massively. It's a lot of fun playing in these events. But like I say, we've been to Warhammer World a bunch of times, and it's always fun to play in them. But it's also fun to run them. It's a lot of fun running tournaments. You get to see more armies rather than playing when you get to see very few. So you get to see more armies, get to meet more people. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of stress. I'm not even going to lie about it. But it's a lot of fun. It's just a fantastic way. Again, if you're in the hobby and you've been doing it for ages, I recommend getting and with your friends and running a tournament because it is fun. It is rewarding especially when you see so many nice comments and feedback from people saying that they've enjoyed themselves, they'd come again. And when we saw the second GT sell out in no time, I mean, that was a humbling experience, and we were excited as heck to go forward with that. We will get it done as soon as we can. And hopefully we'll see you back here soon.
Oh, definitely, for sure. Final question to finish this interview off. I've asked most people this now who've been on the newer style ones. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
No.
No?
No.
Sorry, Shaggy, mate.
Why would you do that to yourself? No. It does not belong there. Chris is a fool. That's all I'm saying. Chris is a fool.
Okay, mate. Thanks so much for taking part with this series.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you soon.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, if not here in England, but hopefully we'll see you soon.
Okay.